Bringing you the latest news from around the world and here at home. This is Primetime News and I'm Sandro Ferdinando.
And I'm Dasmi Atada. Let's start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
UMP MPs attend special meeting at Temple Trees. Who is protecting the thieves? Questions from the leader of the JVP. Mahyanganiya Kandy Road used for night races. Court magistrate orders former Ambassador Udhyanga Weeratunga to surrender to either the police or to court. More revelations on the national payment platform involving the ICTA.
UMP ministers and parliamentarians were summoned to the Temple Trees this evening for a special meeting.
According to our correspondent at the location, the discussions were held under the leadership of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Earlier reports suggest that the meeting was called to reach a final decision on the fate of Minister of Justice and Buddha Sasana, Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa.
During the meeting, the Prime Minister stated that the time given to Vijayadasa Rajapaksa to reach a decision expired today and he is yet to receive a response. He said that by tonight or tomorrow morning, he will reach a decision after consulting with the President. He said that the grace period that was provided has come to an end. I don't know what the Prime Minister said to him, but all of us expected him to resign. I believe that the country was destroyed due to a group of lawyers. However, around 95% of our lawyers are corrupt. They work for money. They safeguard murders, drug kingpins and other criminals because they are clients. I have no issue with the Minister of Justice being a lawyer, but he should be on the side of the people, not the side of his clients.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
We
have not come here to stand on behalf of the Justice Minister or the Attorney General's Department. We have come here to emphasize that actions need to be taken the right way. There are allegations against the Minister of Justice. However, instead of levelling empty allegations, if there was substance in the allegations, everyone would come together. There is one High Court in Colombo with 7 courtrooms, so if a practical decision was taken, 7 cases could be heard at the same time. By limiting all the cases to one courtroom, you are delaying the process of the cases. We already have the process to get through this.
Speaking at an event held yesterday, Minister Rajitha Senaratne expressed these views.
When Tajuddin was murdered, 46 calls were made to those involved in the murder from the phone of the lady of the palace. This is the lady who they are calling Viharamadevi. Because this is being revealed through the CD's investigation. Our Justice Minister is feeling the heat on his backside. Whenever we go to a funeral or a wedding, the mothers there take us aside and ask us when the thieves will be caught. Why is this being suppressed? Because we have appointed a Justice Minister who says the Constitution must be amended to appoint a special court. We said that there is no need to amend the Constitution and the High Court can be directed to hear these cases. When the motion against him was brought at the working committee, he could not even raise his hand to save himself. He has now remembered that there is no dynasty and he says he will form a dynasty. Yes. He formed a dynasty. It was the Avant-Garde dynasty. 3,600 automatic weapons were discovered at Avant-Garde. Did he spend even a day in remand prison? The report of the analyst department, which is under him, was released, and on that it says the serial numbers were erased. The Ministry of Defence says the numbers on all 3,600 weapons were erased as a result of the weapons rubbing against each other. They were asked to send it that way and the Attorney General's Department did so. Suhanda Gamlath was there back then. The man who sent the report said 2 weeks before that this is very easy and that Avant-Garde would be found guilty. But eventually when the report came out, it stated that there was no premise for a case. I asked the Prime Minister to speak to a good lawyer and analyze the report with the Attorney General once again. The people from Avant-Garde who went to Disneyland in America, all of these thieves are the ones who speak on religion and race. We cannot move forward with these opportunists. Prime Minister, I already informed the President last night that those who want to leave should leave and that we can protect this government. We will win in 2020 and the people have given us the courage and the strength to continue through to 2025. We can get good people from the opposition after we show the door to these people.
Speaking during an event held in Ampara, Janata Vimukti Peramuna leader Andru Kumar Dissanayake had this to say.
None of the thieves will be punished. Will Ravi Karunanayake be punished? Within 2 to 3 years, 21 plots of lands were acquired across the country under the names of Shiranti, Yoshita and Namal. Similarly, Basil Rajapaksa has an 18-acre plot of land in the Malvana area with a palatial residence. It is valued at 300 million. If someone from the village is involved in a minor theft, they are carried off by the police. Where did the money come from? From the grandmother's bag of gems? Will the police let the ordinary villager off if they say they got the money from their grandmother? Are these people questioned in this way? No. Therefore remember that not a single one of them will be punished. I will ask you this. When the Basnaika Nilame of Dondra was brought to the FCID, who was the IGP on the phone with saying, "Yes sir, okay sir, I will look into it sir. I will secure the file sir." It was Sagala. There is the protector of the thieves. Basil's money is with Tirunadisan. When he was taken to court, didn't Ranil Wickremesinghe call anyone? Let the country know. We know who he spoke to. Take the avant-garde case which deprived the country of a major source of income. Who was it that met Nisanka Senadipati and Gotabaya Rajapaksa? They met with Vajrabe Wardana. They are the protectors of the thieves. When the investigation into Mahindananda Alutgamage was concluded and he was about to be placed under arrest, who called the FCID and told them not to arrest him? The government has intervened to stall and stop numerous investigations in our country. This government is now putting pressure on Vijayadasa. So who protected the rogues? Was it only Vijayadasa? They are all protecting the thieves. Not only that, they are thieving themselves.
විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂට තඩි බානවා. එහෙනම් හොරු රැක්කේ කවුද? විජේදාස විතරද? නෑ. මේගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම හොරු රකින්න විතරක් නෙවෙයි හොරකම් කරා.
Colombo Fort Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne ordered former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Veeratunga, to surrender to the police or to the courts.
Udayanga Veeratunga requested the Colombo Chief Magistrate to annul the arrest order issued against him through his attorneys. The attorneys requested courts that their client not be arrested if he travels overseas or arrives in Sri Lanka. The magistrate rejected the request and said that the suspect should refrain from making such request and instead to surrender to the police or to the courts. The magistrate, having noted that Udayanga Veeratunga had committed crimes that did not require a specific warrant for his arrest, added that he could be arrested at any given moment. The case pertaining to the land in Dehiwala owned by Desi Forest, grandmother of Yoshita Rajapaksa, was taken up in the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court today. It was revealed during the court proceedings that the estimated report of the land has been misplaced. Attorneys representing the accused said the relevant documents were handed over to the Financial Crimes Investigations Division. The FCID, appearing before Chief Magistrate Mohammed Nihaing, said the report on the estimated value of the house is being compiled as per the instructions of the Attorney General. The courts later postponed the hearing of the case until the 23rd of October.
Our case was produced before the Attorney General's Department and the case was postponed. We handed over those documents which they say have been displaced to the FCID, but some officials left the FCID recently. These misplaced documents cannot be recovered from any other place.
Following a media briefing at the office of the Podujana Peramuna, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa spoke to media.
The Auditor General was summoned to the temple trees and everyone scolded him. Then they selected 5 cases and told him to file charges. They had 2.5 years to catch the rogues they spoke of. Do you think that they would wait without doing anything if they had evidence? The delay is because there isn't any evidence.
සඳහන් කරා ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ සභාපතිතුමා කවුරු කියලාද කිව්වේ?
I did not resign, nor was I forced to quit. So if I haven't resigned or been forced out and someone else claims that he is the chairman, then that cannot be. They make such statements time and again, and we don't see this as an issue. The people know who the leader is. It was Mahinda Rajapaksa who handed over the leadership to President Maithripala Sirisena. If he loves the party and wanted to see an SLFP government in power, he should forget all of this and support President Maithripala Sirisena.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ නිලනායකයා කවුද කියන එක අමුතුවෙන් කියන්න.
There is no need to say who the official leader of the SLFP is. It was Maithripala Sirisena who was elected as the leader of the party through the consensus of the SLFP Central Committee back in January 2015. Since then, Maithripala Sirisena is the official leader of the SLFP. There is no doubt about it.
පක්ෂයේ නිලනායකයා මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මැතිතුමා. ඒක කිසිම ගැටලුවක් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ.
We wonder if Mahinda Rajapaksa still believes he is president as well. Such statements are made by people who are under a great deal of tension or mental stress.
The Socialist People's Front convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
දැන් හොඳටම පැහැදිලි භාස්කර ලිංගම් වැනි අය අතුරු කරලා අගමැති.
It is very clear that the disastrous situation at the CEB has been caused by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Management, which was appointed by the Prime Minister and consists of people like Bhaskara Lingam interfering with the actions of the Procurement Committee. During our time, we managed to gradually reduce the number of power plants that rely on heavy fuel oils that cause harm to the environment and cost a lot. This government has decided to obtain 100 megawatts from the private sector at a cost of 37 rupees per unit. It takes 2 rupees to generate a unit of energy through hydropower. LP gas costs less than 10 rupees.
මෙගාවට් 1000ක් ලබා ගැනීමට දැන් ඉදිරිපත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ජලය හරහා රුපියල් 2යි වියදම. මේ LP gas වලින් රුපියල් 10ට අඩුයි. ජනාධිපති කොමිෂමට මම ලියුමක් බාර.
I handed in a letter to the Presidential Commission. It states that the Presidential Commission should conduct an inquiry against Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as well. The basis for my request is a statement made by former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran before a committee chaired by D.E.W. Gunasekara, and he said that the Prime Minister instructed him to issue bonds. The Constitutional Assembly makes appointments to key positions in government. However, the Central Bank Governor was not appointed in this way. The Prime Minister said back then that he takes full responsibility for him. That is how he was appointed. The Commission should inquire into this.
A protest was staged in Colombo today against the government's decision to ban the usage of polythene from the 1st of September.
The protest was organized by the Oil Island Polythene Producers and Recyclers Union. The protesters made their way from the main bus stand in Fort to the Presidential Secretariat. Lotus Road was temporarily closed due to the protest march. According to the police, the protest caused a large traffic congestion in the area as well. Illegal street racers have once again entered the spotlight, with such an incident being reported from Ududumbara recently.
This footage, which was recorded from the Ududumbara town on the 19th of this month, shows a number of vehicles engaging in an illegal street race. Some of the vehicles seen in this footage are super luxury vehicles. The reckless nature of these racers endangered both other motorists as well as pedestrians. This is the manner in which a fleet of luxury vehicles was parked in close proximity to Mahiyangana on the same day. Newly appointed Uva Province Minister of Health Anuruvidhana Gamage arrived in Mahiyangana for an event with his fleet of vehicles. A similar fleet of vehicles was seen travelling on the 7th of August 2014 after nominations were handed in for the Uva Provincial Council poll.
A leak in the main tunnel of the Uma-Oya multi-purpose development project has caused great damage to the underwater reserves of the area. Residents also note that the water is being contaminated due to the chemicals used to seal the leak with residue of cement.
A leak has been reported in the main tunnel of the Uma-Oya project, which extends from Karandagolla to Puhulpola. The first leak on this tunnel was reported in December 2014. Thereafter, a number of leaks have been reported over the years. Project Director Dr. Srinil Silva notes that the leak spews out nearly 645 litres of water a second. He added that the water is unsuitable for usage, adding that he has called for an immediate report into the situation. This polluted water flows down to the Kirindioya through the Visari Ala. When you compare the polluted water with the normal water, you can see that it is white in colour. We believe that there is some sort of chemical in the water. Whenever the water comes in touch with skin, it causes irritations. How can we use this water to drink? How can we live healthy lives?
The general public standing against corruption calls on officials to stop protecting those who engage in acts of corruption and fraud and instead bring them before the law.
The only alternative is to create awareness among the public and build the people's force. They are the same thieves. The Sri Lanka Against Corruption campaign was active in 2 districts today as well. One team was creating awareness in the historic Kandy district. You can't have corruption if you want to create good governance.
What happens most of the time is that there are many parasites. We see either father in the opposition or the son in the government or the other way around. So can you imagine one betraying the other? No, we need to destroy this political culture. Every government should work to weed out those who are corrupt. The people don't have anyone to talk to about this. Everyone should come together to do this.
Another team carried out the fight against corruption in the Bibli district. The team created awareness among the public in areas such as Ridimalide, Dehagama, Akiran Kumbura, Ilukpatana and a number of other areas.
We have not received any relief from anywhere.
The people need to create a program where we can elect individuals free of corruption to power.
Transparency International Sri Lanka has expressed concerns regarding reports that the Cabinet of Ministers plans to curtail the proposed powers of the Auditor General under the National Audit Bill, which would limit the Auditor General's ability to hold individuals personally liable for losses caused to state entities. The bill certified by the Attorney General has 3 key provisions.
First, the power of the Auditor General to impose personal financial responsibility or surcharges on individuals who have caused financial loss to a state entity through fraud, direct willful negligence, misappropriation or corruption. Second, the power to examine bank accounts in which the Auditor General believes that monies belonging to a state entity have been fraudulently, irregularly or wrongfully deposited. Third, an independent budgeting mechanism designed to safeguard the independence of the prospective National Audit Office.
TISL urges the government to retain surcharging powers which are in keeping with international best practices, whilst being mindful of the opportunity to further detail the surcharge and appeals process at the committee stage of the Parliament. At the same time, the appeal procedure needs to be unbiased and devoid of any appearance of conflict of interest for the Auditor General.
The National Audit Bill has been deferred on numerous occasions since it was initially proposed in Cabinet in April 2015. As a key pledge of the President's 100-day manifesto, the passage of the National Audit Bill is essential to strengthen financial accountability across the state structure. Transparency International calls on the Cabinet to display its commitment to fighting corruption and enhancing the scrutiny of public finance by tabling the National Audit Bill before Parliament.
On the 27th of July, Chairman of National Audit Services Union K.M. Wickramasinghe commented on the delay of the National Audit Bill.
දෙයක් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා නම් ඒක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕනේ ජනාධිපතිවරයා හරහා. ජනාධිපතිවරයා තමයි එතනදී ව්‍යවස්ථානුකූලව අපේ කාර්ය කරන්නේ ජනාධිපති ලේකම් කාර්යාලය හරහා ජනාධිපතිවරයා. එයා ගැසට් කරනවා කියලා ඒකේ බලය එය කරන්න ඉටු කිරීමේ වගකීම අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය ලේකම්වරයාට පවරලා කැබිනට් සංදේශයක් තියෙනවා.
So does that mean that the Prime Minister has accepted a task that should have been done by someone else?
Correct. I cannot comment on why such a decision was made. Only they would know the answer. That is what happened. It has been 2.5 years and it is a broken promise.
A joint letter of intent was signed between the Board of Investment and the Rojana Industrial Park Public Company Limited from Thailand in Colombo today.
The joint letter of intent will lead to the signing of an agreement whereby the Rojana Industrial Park Company Limited will build, manage and promote a special industrial zone. We hope to create multiple industrial zones. The first will be a 250-acre zone in Kalutara, Mid-Dinya, following by another 150-acre zone. We are hoping to open the industrial zone by December. We will accommodate the infrastructure facilities and Rojana Industrial Park Public Company will develop and spend on these zones. That is a huge resource to our country. They will fulfill their duties and will hand them back to the country in 50 years. We get investments from China. They are hoping to bring investments and industries from countries such as Japan, Korea and England. The development projects that were missed during the previous regime will be completed in about 5 years and will turn Sri Lanka into a large export zone.
Parliamentary discussion with your team, we are eyeing the home appliances, fundamental electronics, home appliances, TV, and such kind of industry would be attractive for the market here locally also, you see. So we will start from here on, and then maybe if the future development is good, we will have a automobile or some larger industry stepping in.
State Minister of Foreign Affairs Vasantha Senanayake undertook an official visit to Lebanon recently to strengthen bilateral political and economic relations between the two nations.
During this visit, the State Minister paid a courtesy call on the President of Lebanon, General Michel Aoun, at a meeting with the Prime Minister of Lebanon.
During the visit, the State Minister paid a courtesy call on President of Lebanon, General Michel Aoun. At a meeting with the Prime Minister of Lebanon, Saad Hariri, the State Minister requested the Lebanese government's assistance to facilitate the legalization process of nearly 5,000 undocumented Sri Lanka migrant workers and also to facilitate the repatriation of already registered workers. Prime Minister Saad Hariri expressed Lebanese government's readiness to facilitate the legalization process of undocumented Sri Lanka migrant workers and to ensure their safety and welfare.
The foundation stone for the 121st Udagammana project was laid in Hambantota today.
The Udagammana is being built under the Yalipipudemu Udagammana project. The village has been named as the Situ Setagama. Those in the opposition claim that we cannot do anything. On what basis are they making these statements? We have given a salary increment of 10,000 rupees to the 1.4 million state sector employees in this country. Is this a sign of inability? By speaking of the inability, the joint opposition is highlighting that we in the government have the inability to earn for ourselves or fill our coffers. I do accept this. We have no intention of earning for ourselves.
Is party politics derailing the good governance promise?
Join Face the Nation right after this for perspectives from former Southern Provincial Councillor Maitri Gunratna, Chairman of the Strategic Enterprise Management Agency, Asok Abe Gunawardana, and former MP Kesra Gunasekara. And with that, wrap up Primetime News. I'm Sandra Ferdinando.
And I'm Dasnia Thawda. Good night.